What's going on, guys? My name is Tim Roswick, and today I wanted to take a little bit of a turn here. I don't usually talk about current events. I don't usually, kind of share news on the channel. But I thought this piece of news was interesting because we've talked about loot boxes on the channel before, and we've talked about some of the ethical concerns and some of the, player frustrations and stuff like that. And recently, Apple just changed their terms of service to force anybody that uses in-app purchases to purchase loot boxes to actually reveal the odds of getting every item in the loot box. So basically, anybody that is making a loot box on iOS in a mobile game has to disclose the odds of each item. They have to tell you, you have X% of this, you have X% of that. And this is really interesting, right? Because, that kind of takes away some of the magic of a loot box. If people know, like mathematically, you have no idea what's under the hood, right? You literally could have a loot box that's like 1 in 10 million chance of getting some kind of item. And the player base would just never know. They would just know it's rare, but they would never know what's under the hood. Especially with RNG in play, like literally there's no way to kind of tell that. You can only get an average estimate of what the random number drops, and random is really random, so who knows. But with this new change that Apple's making, they're making it to where you have to disclose that information. Now, I've seen some discussion of people actually talking about how Blizzard in China kind of went around this issue, because there was some similar stuff happening there with loot boxes disclosing odds. And they actually made their loot boxes a free gift with the purchase of the in-app currency, which, that's biting the loophole. But it's interesting because we're in a state where a lot of gamers are just really unhappy with the state of these digital goods and these loot boxes, man. And EA, I think, took the brunt of it with that whole thing where everybody was just pissed off about Battlefront 2. The game did not meet expectations. It dropped their stocks a bit. EA's is gonna not meet their projections this year because of the game. They're still up by like 30% over the year, I believe it is. I have to look at the numbers, but gamers raged over that, man. And Destiny 2 is going through something similar, which kind of sucks, because Destiny's been the game that I have played for the last couple of years, and to see the sequel be so built around fucking Eververse and the loot boxes just drives me crazy, because it's not so much that I mind having this thing where I can buy cosmetics from loot boxes with real money. Like, I don't mind that. What I mind is that it seems like they have designed the entire game around it. They've taken all of the stuff that you would earn everywhere else in the game and put it behind a loot box. And with the new event that they have, the winter event, the Dawning, same thing. Everything's behind the loot boxes. Everything. Stuff that normally would have been rewards for raids or strikes or whatever, for playing the game, is now behind the paywall of the loot box. So it's interesting that Apple would make this move and kind of, it seems like they're being preemptive. It seems like they see the anger in the different gamers, voices on the internet, and they want to take that step to kind of protect their player base and their user base for iOS. And honestly, I think that's a good move. I think Apple should enforce the shit out of that, to be honest, because loot boxes are being abused right now. Like, in-app purchases are one thing, right? Buying digital goods is one thing. Buying specific things that you want, you know what? It's a digital good, but if it adds entertainment, I don't mind doing it. Like, my brother bought me Halo Wars, so I was messing with that the other day. And you can buy individual leaders, additional leaders that didn't come with the game. Like, now, do I think they should have given the game? Yeah, I do. But they didn't come with the game, and, if you want them, I can just buy one for $5. I can just buy a leader for $5. Right? I can, like, not eat at McDonald's one day and just buy one. And you know what? It'll add hours of entertainment to my play. But loot boxes, not only do they play on the psychological effects of randomization, right? When we don't know what's in the box, we are much more likely to desire the box rather than, And they hide plenty of shit that you don't want in there, right? But not only that, but most players don't even realize the mathematical equations are not all random, get whatever. It's usually not. Like, think about it. As a game programmer, right? As a game developer, you can make those numbers whatever the hell you want them to be. You can make those loot boxes do whatever you want them to do. You can weight them any way you want. You can make them random. You can not make them random. You can make them sequential. You can, like, you know what I mean? So the fact that Apple is making people actually disclose the odds of the loot boxes, I think it's a step in the right direction. As a matter of fact, I would be really interested to see the odds in all the different loot boxes in the games that I play, Destiny 2 especially. I would love to see if they weight things certain ways, or they make things way more rare than other things. Things that in the game you maybe wouldn't even realize. So I think it's a step in the right direction, but I'm interested to see what you think. Do you think Apple should do this and enforce this? Do you think other game companies should adopt this and kind of enforce this? Or do you think loot boxes are totally fine and everybody should leave them alone? I feel like I feel like this is the beginning of a new time. I feel like 2017 was the year where some gaming companies just went too far with the loot box stuff. They went too far, and I feel like, yes, they're a big money maker, but I feel like people are starting to get pissed off. And I hope that people actually stand up and vote with their wallets that it's not something they want in their games anymore. And it sucks to see games that I grew up with such fond memories of, like, unlocking maps and characters and stuff. And it sucks that those are all things you have to pay for now. And it's not even just the fact that I don't want to spend the money. It's just like, I paid the money, man. Let me buy the things I want to buy. If you want to have additional content, great, but tell me what I'm getting. This whole loot box thing where they hide everything behind random paywalls, and then you don't even know if you're going to get what you want to get, is like, you know, that's crazy. So I think disclosing the odds is a step in the right direction. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to hear them. Let me know what you think. But once again, I'm Tim Ruswick, and I will see you again tomorrow.